Hello, beautiful people. Not sure who's going to be with me tonight. Let me know if you are watching and if you can hear and see me. Just going to move the screen slightly. I've moved my laptop angle because it was annoying me and my jowls were showing. Yes, I'm vain. A vain goth. Let me see. I log on to my YouTube here. Hi, Pete. It's lovely to see you. Yes, it is very cold. What is the hedgehog eating? Is that cheese? Hi, Chrissy. Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Draka. Brilliant to see you. Is Alexis with you as well? Good to see you both. Hi, Kirsty. Great to see you. Oh, great. I didn't think I was going to get anybody watching tonight because I originally said 6 p.m. But then Regan Elite was going to go live at 6. So I said I'd move mine to 7. But then, unfortunately, he didn't go live. Yeah, let's send him our love. Let's send him our love. YouTube are messing him about, which is really unfair. So I've got some interesting articles to read to you guys and to chat about. Hi, Scott. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. Lost Missionary. Lovely to see you. Stephen. Lovely to see you as well. Oh, so many of you. I wasn't sure how many would be joining us tonight. Still need to know if you guys can hear me. I guess you can. Otherwise, you'd all be saying, can't hear you. I know you can see me. Oh, fuck's sake. So tonight's show is What the Fuck. And these are all the things that we go, what the fuck. Let me just make sure I can hear. Yes, I can. So I am loud and I am visual, which is good. Let me know what you think of this angle, guys. Get to see more of my hands here. Diz sends her apologies. She will be modding Geoscope, and Alistair M says hi, and he will pop in later. Oh, bless him. Thank you. Yeah, I just saw the notification now for Geoscope because I thought they normally went live at about 9 o'clock for Geoscope. Anyway, yes, so we're all overlapping a little bit, which is a bit pants, but, you know, there are so many of us, and, you know, we've all got to try and make a living. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me, Pete. Glad you can hear me. Stateside on Monday at 9. Okay, Chris, I need to get used to everybody else's time frames and things because I don't want to step on people's toes because we're all friends and we all watch the same channels. So, hi, Elle. Lovely to see you. Although I am not a massive fan of global politics, and I get my fill when I watch Graham in the morning. So I'm, you know, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So this show, What the Fuck, is a lot lighter, a lot more fun, and hopefully a good laugh. So you'll have to forgive me. I've got a really sore throat. I've got something going on this side of my throat. A lot of strepsil in my mouth. Do your thing. 3 p.m. works. Oh, 3 p.m. on Thursday is with Regan Elite, and that we are discussing mental health on Friday. Sorry, Friday. Yeah, so please, if you can, if you don't already subscribe to Regan Elite, please, please, please subscribe to him. Like Chris says, he is going through a difficult time right now, and it's really shit. And my heart goes out to him. It really does. It's crap. Elle, I don't know if I said hello to you, so I'll say hello to you again. But I think I've mentioned everybody in the chat. So, chew a clove. It's a great disinfectant and heals sore throat. This is where my tonsil would have been. I had my tonsils removed when I was a kid. I woke up with it this morning. So either the cat's put something down my throat, which wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm sure you've all seen that AI video of that cat putting a giant spider down that man's throat. It's AI. It's not real. At least I'm pretty sure it's AI. But yeah, I think it's possibly a thing, like a blip on the back of my, because it's only in the one spot. It's only the one spot. Stephen, it's a fucking nasty move from YouTube. Yeah, it is. It is nasty. I'm so angry for him, because I know how hard it is already to try and make a living off of YouTube. I mean, I already, I've set up my Buy Me a Coffee, and I just need to get it finished with PayPal. So, and Stripe, I think it is. So hopefully by my next live, I will be, you will be able to drop me a donation or two if you so wish. Hi, blah, blah. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. The cats are trying to kill their slave off, Witchy. They are. They really are. I walk into the kitchen and they're around my feet, and I keep telling them, if you knock me over and I die, you won't get fed, because you can't open the cupboard doors. And I know they would actually munch on me. And that would be okay. I have no issue with that. None at all. None at all. I hope they would munch on me. But they wouldn't get the treats. So, yeah. But they don't listen. They don't listen at all. This afternoon was so funny. So I've still got my Christmas decorations up, as some of you know. And I had this sign hanging on my top of my curtain rail. It's got a hook, so it was on that. And it says, "Let it snow," and it's got these two sort of 3D kind of snowmen on it. Sorry, just put this on silent. Shen trying to sell me clothing again. They do a good job. They do a good job. Anyway, as I went to close the curtains, it fell down. Goblin was on the pillow on the coffee table next to the radiator, obviously, because it's warm. And she went flying, knocked over everything. The other cats went flying. Yeah, I wish I'd have had a camera for that. I really do. But it always happens when you don't expect it. Pete's talking about cats. How come the white and ginger cat mid-shot has two heads? Just saying. Oh, in that photo that does it? Yeah, it says AI. It's AI. I must check this. Hang on, because I didn't notice that. Where is that photo? Where is that picture? Oh my God, it does. It has two heads, one at either end. I must tell AI it made a mistake there. You always know when it's AI. I was watching a video came up earlier on, and it was this woman off of like some sort of diving board wanting to land in a net between two very high mountains with the ground far below. And I'm thinking, this has got to be AI. And as she jumps, she nearly falls off of the edge of the net. But then she does this weird flip turn thing. And it's like, no, your head's where your ass is. And it was all wrong. So, yeah. Blah, you're going to love us and leave us because you're going to have a shower. Good for you. Enjoy your shower. Enjoy your shower. Make it a nice hot toasty one. I've got a very, very vocal Claire cat. She's got her new blanket and demanded it go behind the sofa. She's desperate to get back out, but I'm unsure in case she doesn't come back. Yeah, I wouldn't let her back out yet, Stephen. Definitely not. Definitely not. Cat grass. Get some cat grass. I think you can order it online. I've had some before when they can't get out because they do like to chew grass. But I mean, also, it's really, really cold at the moment. So I'm not letting mine out. I've got the cat flap closed and both doors closed and locked. Not letting them out in this weather. It's far too cold for them. And, I don't want them to freeze when they're out. Cat grass. Yeah. Cat grass. It's good for them. It is good for them. And it grows really, really quickly as well. What like marijuana grass? No, unfortunately not. But catnip spray. B&M do it. I think it used to be £1. It's probably £2 now. It's the Garfield one. I spray it. My cats love it. They go bonkers. Spray it on the blanket and she'll roll and go mental. They all absolutely love catnip. When I spray it, if they're not around, they'll all come. They'll all suddenly appear in the front room. And I spray their toys with it as well. So they have good time with them, and I spray it over the top of them. They sort of close their eyes a bit, but they know that it's catnip, so they don't mind. If it was water, they would mind, but because it's catnip, they don't mind. They just sort of sit there with their eyes half closed, and then they roll. They roll all over the place. Going to say cats are crazy enough without a fat doobie to help them. Well, catnip is the same. And in fact, humans can also inhale catnip. Apparently, I've never tried it, but apparently it gives a similar, effect. Thanks for the tips. Oh, Stephen, anytime. Did I? Hang on. I might have. Where's my cat section? Where is my cat section on books? There's an author called Vicky Halls. Well, bloody hell. Where are they? I've got a whole load of cat books that have seemed to have gone missing. No, I've got feng shui for cats. Okay, there's an author called Vicky Halls. I don't know where the bloody book is. And she is a cat behaviorist. And yeah, I do have too many books, far too many books. It could be somewhere in the house that I've been flicking through. I do remember reading through it at some stage. And what I'd done was, as I was reading through it, I was writing all my cats' names. Oh, yeah, this is what that one does, and that's what this one does. And but it's all behavioural stuff, so it's really, really worth, if you can get a secondhand copy cheaply. Sorry, spray it. They'll come. Yes, they will. Sorry, Elle, didn't realise that I'd said that. Missy Moo Moo overdoes it and goes odd for a bit. They do. They go a bit weird. I remember growing cat grass when I lived in South Africa in the garden, and I was gardening and, digging the beds. And it wasn't a very big plant at the time. And my cat at the time, Orion, he was also a black and white tuxedo. He laid on it. I wasn't allowed to touch it. He lay down on it, and that was it. I wasn't allowed to touch it. 2 days later, it had gone. All eaten. So, first story I want to talk about is Mr. Tiny Timmy Robinson and his traitorous comment. Absolutely disgusting comment. And I feel that he should be perhaps arrested for being a traitor. Chris, it was a couple of days ago, and it only showed up on my feed last night after I'd done Tiny Tim Very Dim. Love that. So this is an article from, where's it from? The National. So it was the first thing that came up when I was searching. Tommy Robinson has called on Donald Trump to invade and free the UK from the tyrannical dictator Keir Starmer following the United States attack on Venezuela. I said it was a case for a treason charge. Absolutely. I mean, what's the face? What was that woman's name that got put in prison and then was released and is now with the Deformed Party? I can't remember her name now. Is it Lauren something or something or other? Yeah, it's worse than that because he's actually calling on an American president, whereas she was calling on general people to go and, set fire to things. Lucy Connolly, thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Kirsty. Yeah. He'll have no country to live at this rate. Well, he was kicked out of Colombia. Then he was kicked out of, was it Peru? No. What was the country next to? Anyway, he was kicked out of 2 countries because he was seen as a a threat, basically. So he was, I'm just scrolling down this to read his tweet. He tweeted, "Yo," at real Donald Trump. "As you're doing the rounds removing dodgy communist dictators, I know of one who is allowing violent invaders to pour into the country's communities who are unaliving, raping, and pillaging. On top of that, he's making the people pay for it and jailing people who speak out against the regime's wrongdoings. This is where he hides under armed guard, coordinates 51 degrees, 30, 12 north, 0 degrees, 0739 west." I don't know if I've read that right. It's a long time since I've read coordinates like that, because obviously we have GPS nowadays, and I did have a compass. I know we can get them on our phones, but I actually had a separate compass. The post by Robinson contained an image of the front door of number 10 Downing Street, the official residence and office of the Prime Minister, and it's been widely shared online. In another post, he wrote, "We would now love America and President Trump to free us from our tyrannical dictator at Keir Starmer. The US's actions have prompted widespread concern and condemnation," and blah, 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 blah. I don't think Trump's responded. But wasn't Brexit all about our sovereignty? And now he wants an American orange, don't swear, Debbie, clown, to come in and dethrone, depose, get rid of our Prime Minister. We're a democratic country. Keir Starmer was voted in. Fair, democratic, not like Venezuela. He was voted in, and in a couple of years' time, there'll be another election and he'll be voted out, and somebody else will be voted into power, and hopefully it won't be Froggage, although it may well be Froggage. So asking, I just don't understand the logic here. They go around tying flags to lampposts and painting flags on roundabouts, and yet then they want the Americans to invade us. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. No sense. 10 Names is getting him a bit desperate. He's becoming an irrelevance and he knows it. Yeah, he is. He is lost missionary. Chris says, "Oh my God, just read what he posted. He has posted the actual coordinates of 10 Downing Street." He has. Kirsty, if you heard James O.B. call on how the rich are getting people to say how unsettled and corrupt the UK and other countries are so that Trump can come in and take over in the name of peace. Yeah, I know. It is terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. And this is a what the fuck moment. It really, really is. My light just went really bright, didn't it? Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened. Although my skin does look good with that light. He's a man baby, most definitely. I've just plugged those coordinates into Google Maps and Flare. Yeah, he did get them right. He did get them right. I'm sure he had somebody get them for him. Hi, Ben Riddings. Lovely to see you. Quick, look at that war over there. That isn't the Epstein files. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's have a look. And Farage wants Trump to sanction UK. Yeah, treason, and I consider that a random attempt. Vote for me and I'll talk to my mate Trump to lift the sanctions. Yeah. You blame a lack of education. I do too. Somebody was talking about economics the other day. It was Phil. Phil did a really good video on economics. No, was it? It was Phil or Femi? Can't remember which one. It was Femi. It was Femi. And I put a comment and I said, Femi, people do not understand how economics works. They don't. They have no idea how economics work. It's difficult to understand. It's not like balancing your bank book at the end of the month, your own personal accounts. It's a completely different thing. I used to do accounts for my department and, yearly projection and work out what we needed and what it would cost with all the, projected costs and so on. And that was a nightmare. So, even economists don't know how economics work. Yeah, my nephew is studying economics. And I said to him, you need to read the Financial Times. So I said, maybe I should get him a Financial Times subscription for his birthday. It's frightening how many people have no interest in politics until someone tells them what to think, then they follow blindly. Absolutely. Hi, Mithril. Lovely to see you. I don't think I said hello to you yet. Wonderful for you to join. Tiny Tom seriously needs to be arrested and held on remand at HMP Belmarsh on the general wings. Let him taste proper prison regime. He has, so many crimes he has committed. I don't understand why he's still out. I really don't understand why he's still out in the world. Sorry, just crunching on the last bit of it. He's just a drain on society. I mean, last night I was talking about him being chucked out of that pub, which is something that I would have done if I was working in a restaurant, for example, as a waitress, and he came in and wanted serving. I wouldn't serve him. I'd tell the manager straight, I'm not serving him. And they'd be like, why? And I'm like, no, not serving him. And if I did serve him, I'd make sure that I spilled everything all over him. Did I tell you about the time when I accidentally dropped a roast potato down a woman's top? So embarrassed. I worked at a hotel in Doncaster called the Mount Pleasant. It's a 4-star silver service hotel. It might be 5-star now, I don't know. But back then it was 4-star. We had to do silver service, but using a spoon and a fork. So, as tongs rather than using tongs. Why we couldn't have tongs, I do not know. But this was, you had the thing over your arm and you were using tongs, and there's some fluff of some sort on there that's reflecting white. And so I was, and everybody's crammed together. It was Christmas, and I'm sort of leaning over, and as I leant over with because the food's here, the dish of roast potatoes is there, and I'm sort of getting around this woman because she wasn't small, but she wasn't huge, but she was very well endowed, and she had quite a low top on. And as I went over, it jumped and went down her top. I was mortified, absolutely mortified. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she laughed and giggled and she said, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But my God, tales that waitresses can tell you of things that they've done in their lives and things that have happened to them. Horrendous stuff. Being a waitress and a bar staff member or a waiter and a bartender are two of the most difficult jobs in the world. They really, really are, because you're dealing with hungry and thirsty people. And yeah. Every time he has been sent, sorry, I thought it was a genuine word since most economists have towering egos. Critical thinking lessons need to be taught in every school. Absolutely, because people are not taught to critically think. Before I deferred my course, one of the tutorials that we did was on critical thinking. I'm thinking, well, I already know this, but I attended anyway, because you can never have enough knowledge and you may have missed something. Luckily, it was stuff that I already knew and understood, but it's being able to see from both sides. So it's being able to look at a problem from both sides. So looking at Froggage and his bollocks that he spouts, his only reality is that he wants to stop the boats. And people don't hear in his voice that he wants to change the government into a business. So it wouldn't be ministers, it would be friends of his running those departments. government is not a business. It really is not a business. It's completely separate, completely different, run with different rules. Yeah. So I think, you know, if we need to try and educate the people that we meet in our daily lives and tell them, look, you know, this is critical thinking, this is what you need to look at. Unfortunately, a lot of people always think they're right and very rarely will accept that they've made a mistake or that they're wrong. And, you know, it is hard for people to admit when they're wrong. I have. If I'm wrong, I generally say, I'm sorry, I apologize, I was wrong. I even apologize to Owen Jones. Farage and Robinson are two sides of the same gammon joint. I would say two cheeks of the same arse, but anyway. When I was silver service doing the breakfast shift, this horrible woman, I want mushrooms only, sorry ma'am, we don't, she went mental. So I went back of house and scrapped all of the, where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-up? All over the mushrooms from plates, warmed them up with the plate and took them, putting the plate down. Her impatience grabs plate. Oops. We used to, we had a set menu, but if a patron wanted a specific thing for breakfast, they, you know, if somebody said, I only want mushrooms, they would get only mushrooms. That's the kind of thing that we did. And I remember one night I was in charge of the night's dinner, and we had a lot of clients come in that were businessmen. There was one businessman, he was the owner of Jaguar, and I was chatting to him for ages, and he'd ordered steak and a sauce, and I'd forgotten to put the sauce down onto the receipt. So I took the steak out, forgetting that he'd ordered a sauce, took the steak out. It looked beautiful, by the way, because our chefs were amazing. And took the steak out, and he said, oh, I ordered sauce. I said, I am so sorry, and took it back. And I said to the chef, I am so sorry, but I forgot to write sauce down on the slip. And because I'd apologized and said it was my error, he didn't shout at me. He wasn't like Gordon Ramsay, but he could be with some of the waiting staff who, you know, blamed the chefs all the time. But I knew it was my mistake and I owned up to it. And I then got the respect of the chef because I'd owned up to my own mistake. I did get a good tip from that guy, though. Okay, I'm seeing, I used to work in Little Chef Switchy. We were just the same, give customers what they want. That's it. You know, I have some fantastic stories of customers when I was a ticket inspector with Virgin Trains. Is it just dogs things that you supply? Okay, that's to Chris C. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we did. Which you've got one too. What one have you got? What have you got that I'm not? Have I got something? Two sides of the same arse. Popping in from the bin. Thank you, Billy, for popping in from the bin. Yes, somebody said the other day that Mikey's actually copied my peacock noise. I couldn't find it on the YouTube channel. Is there somewhere that I'm supposed to be looking that I'm not? Is it on a Discord server? Because I don't have Discord. I have too much internet stuff going on at the moment. In the early 80s, if a waiter or anyone made a mistake, the head chef would have blown a gasket at them and made them pay. That's it. I think, Lost Missionary, you know, with me going in and apologizing straight off and saying, I am so sorry, this is my error. You know, I think that he was a bit more understanding. Also, I think they liked me because some of the other waiting staff were a bit lazy. Used to do my head in, used to really do my head in. And I remember one night, one of the chefs, it was the other chef, he was on and the head chef wasn't. And he said, what do you guys want for dinner? And I was like, steak. because I'm South African, ex-South African, well, English, lived there for 24 years, lived here, lived there, came back, and steak is one of my favorite meals. And he said, oh, actually, I've got some steaks that are just about to be thrown away. I'll do them. So, yeah, he cooked the steaks. And to be honest with you, steak doesn't really ever go off, does it? Not in my book anyway, unless it goes green. Chefs were usually betards. They've come a long way since then, thankfully. They have. And this was in the 2007, 2008 when I worked at that hotel. So, and then I had to do room services as well at night when I worked night shifts. And that was always a nightmare to do because it was a big hotel. And there was an old lift. It wasn't tall. It's an old farm that's been converted into a hotel. Bits have been added on over the years. And it's all very windy and lots of different rooms and so on. And so you have to walk miles, either with the trolley, if you've got it, because sometimes they had weddings on in the function rooms, or you had to carry this massive wooden tray. So you had to have big muscles. It was a difficult job. Okay, I think that's something else. Chef's balls is a thing. It's the heart that makes them bad-tempered. Okay. I had one customer who slept past his stop, lost his mind at the fact that the next station was London Euston. Oh, this is from your Virgin train days. And started demanding that I stopped the train. I politely informed him that that wasn't possible. Which, you remember the T-bone pumpkin and spinach baked potato with sour cream and chive at the porterhouse? I do remember that. You know where I used to go, Kirsty? I don't know if you ever went to the Prime Grill in Benoni. Oh my God, 500-gram steak. I couldn't eat that amount of steak now. Now I get a 250-gram steak and I cut it into 3 pieces because it's just too much. But yeah, I do miss the meat in South Africa. The beef, the steak was always amazing. Right. So coming to my next story. So that was about Titty Tiny Tommy. Atlas. 3i Atlas is not an alien spacecraft, astronomers confirm. In the end, there were no surprises. I'm so sad about this. So sad. So sad. So we all would have been thrilled to find techno signatures coming from 3i Atlas, but they're just not there. This is from space.com, which is NASA's site. So space fans hoping that the intruder from beyond the solar system known as Comet 3i Atlas is actually an alien spacecraft may be disappointed by new research that could close the book on this speculation once and for all. And this article is from 6 hours ago, so it's very new. Astronomers used the Green Bank telescope employed in the Breakthrough Listen extraterrestrial signal hunting astronomy project, that's a mouthful, to search 3i Atlas for measurable signs of technology from ET civilizations or technosignatures. Though this hunt came up empty, the fact that 3i Atlas is only the 3rd known object found in the solar system after entering from interstellar space, the others being 1i Oumuamua, and is seen in 2017, and 2i Borisov, detected in 2019, means that it is still an object of great fascination, albeit a natural one. That's so sad. So sad. So later on in the article, it goes on to say the evidence was against 3i Atlas being one such probe, but we would have been remiss not to check. And yeah, it's very sad that it wasn't aliens. I would have loved it to be aliens. I know I'm weird, but it would have been great if it could have been, something that would have changed the world in a positive way. That would have been amazing. Thank goodness Ari Loeb shouldn't be encouraged in his idiotic speculation. Well, I don't know, Mithril. I mean, I read all his stuff and I was like, RV Loeb. I actually did read his stuff and I was hopeful. I was very hopeful. Unfortunately, it's not. So it's all a bit shit, really. The next story, I've actually got it on my phone because my internet was going. The cats have knocked it off the table again, little buggers. It was Goblin when she went flying. She knocked everything over. So, oh, goodness me, where is it now? Where is it? Hang on, guys. Hang on. Okay. So something else that came out today, which you may have seen, you may not have seen, is that, I'll read that out. So here we go, breaking news. UK and France agree to deploy forces to Ukraine in the event of a peace deal. Good. That is good. That is really, really good. That's made me happy. I'm going to come back to it in a moment, though, Chris, because I've got a few things I want to say on that. Ben Ridding says, however, to think we are alone in the vast universe is folly. Who knows what the future will bring? Exactly. Andy Peters, where do I know that name from? Maybe it was real and they said that to throw us off track. Yeah, I mean, it could have been, but it wasn't. And even if it was, and I said this, I think, on a live stream last week or the week before, that it was heading towards Jupiter. And if it was aliens, why would it come to this little green marble, this green and blue marble, when Jupiter's the largest planet? And what's to say that those aliens, if they are aliens, breathe oxygen? Maybe they breathe the gases that Jupiter is, it consists of. So, we can't, we just, I think as human beings, we tend to think that all life form will be like us or in the shape of us or in, some sort of bipedal animal kind of form. But who's to say that they won't be sort of light or just a thought form or a gaseous, a gaseous being? I was a gaseous being over the weekend because I had this, one of my friends made this vegetable stew. Oh my God, I've never been so gaseous. New that came out, thought it might be Andy Peters coming out. He's due. I'm not sure who Andy Peters is. I'm a bit confused now. Andy Peters from GMB. Okay. Yes, Ben, very gaseous. Maybe they're not aliens. Maybe they're just all Ians. Maybe they are just all Ians. And are quite a few Ians. So, news from Donald Trump. This was in the Mirror. I get a thread coming up from the Mirror. And Trump float cancelling US elections on 5th anniversary of January 6th, because, of course, today is January the 6th, and it's the 5th anniversary since January the 6th, the attempted insurrection. Donald Trump floated the idea of cancelling US elections 5 years to the day since the January 6th insurrection. Giving a speech to Republican members of Congress at a retreat at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., Trump complained that his party even has to bother running against Democrats. How we have to even run against these people, he said, I won't say. Cancel the election, but they should cancel the election because the fake news say he wants the elections cancelled. He's a dictator. They always call me a dictator. I said this before he was elected, that was going to be the case, that he was going to try and stop future elections because he wants to stay in power, like Putin. It looks like it is kicking off on Capitol Hill as a march led by supporters of the January 6th attack is taking place. Oh, God. just give up. I give up. Maybe they are all trans. That would be good. That would definitely stick one to the turfs, Pete. Definitely. That would be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. There was something I was watching the other day with trans people in, and I can't remember what it was, but it is something that I've got written down. It's something that I want to talk about in a video that I'm going to do soon. So it's really interesting. Well, to be fair, Trump, if it is a spade, acts like a spade, then it is a spade. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The aliens were bringing Elvis back, but they took one look and said, no, thank you very much. Well, they were bringing Elvis and Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin and Kurt Cobain. I could go on. The list is endless of the people that we'd like back. David Bowie, Prince, Michael Jackson. Yeah, we'd like them all back, wouldn't we? Time is sad. Time is very, very sad. It really is. So yeah, that's another thing that's happening at the moment. Thanks for letting us know, Chris, about that. That's just absolutely bloody terrifying. Okay, I'm not going to read that story out because that just made me cry. But we were talking about the AI thing yesterday. Lemmy, yeah, definitely want Lemmy back. Definitely. And Ozzy. Lemmy and Ozzy. But I know that Lemmy and Ozzy are at the bar with my dad, and he's probably drinking them under the bar. Then it is a bloody spade. Yeah, it's okay. Not sure I want MJ back. Yeah, Mithril, there is that, isn't there? There's that photo of him with Epstein on Epstein Island. So yeah, it only works for Elvis. Okay. Pete Steele. Oh God. Oh yes. How he is missed. How he is missed. I still listen to all of my Typo Negative CDs all the time. Absolutely love his voice. Oh my God, his voice was amazing. The day he died, I actually did cry. I actually did cry. The US is just terrifying at the moment, utter chaos. Yeah, the Capitol Police are arresting counter-protesters at Capitol. So the people that are protesting against are being arrested. It's just insanity. It's like the pro-Palestine marchers being arrested. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's like the goodies are being treated as the baddies. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. I walked into a bar once. I got concussion. I love that joke, Elle. Brilliant. Defo MJ, that photo was the only photo they could find, and it was related to buying a house. Sony went after MJ because he owned too much of the music industry. Stephen, I don't know. I mean, you know, the whole Neverland thing, I don't know. I don't know. We can only speculate. I don't think the truth will ever come out about that. So the AI videos, images that, you know, taking clothes off of women and children and putting them into, or sexualizing them into, you know, just sexualizing them. It's happened to Kate Middleton. Now, I'm not a royalist at all. I think they should be done away with. But I mean, come on. You know, that is just so wrong. So yeah, we know that the letter has been sent by Ofcom to AI, XAI and X about fixing it so that it can't do that. You know, it is just horrendous, some of the things that men do to women. Absolutely horrendous. True story is the funny part. So it actually did happen. Okay. Squeaky Spike. Yeah. 5 finally, now maybe they'll do something about this awful exploitation of women. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's not just women, it's kids. They are sexualizing children as well. And the PDFs will be going mental, you know. And I think it was somebody yesterday saying, you know, people will have anonymous accounts. They'll be doing it through VPNs. So to trace these specific people is going to be so difficult. I think it was Graham saying this. But it's absolutely horrendous that they are doing this. You know, I mean, there are photos of me online where I've got hardly any clothes on anyway, because I used to go out in little tiny go-go shorts and a little tiny top. So I'm really not too concerned about myself, but that's me. But, you know, when you've got icons like, I mean, she is an icon. I don't like the fact that she is, but, you know, Princess Kate, it is just horrendous. And, you know, what they've done to Tans is horrendous as well. You know, the pictures of me that are online are pictures that I've put online. So they're okay, you know, and they're of me when I was like in my 20s. So, you know, I looked pretty decent then. I didn't have flab or cellulite back then. I had a six-pack, had a really cool six-pack. And all Liz Kendall has said on this is that X needed to deal with this urgently and backed Ofcom to take any enforcement action it deems necessary. Who is paying off our politicians? Yeah. Yeah. I have a miniature bottle of champers for when Orange One eventually shuffles off, then a mini bottle of vodka for when JD takes his place. Yeah. We'll need it. We'll definitely need it. And JD will probably end up marrying what's-her-face. I can't think of her name now. It's just gone. It's just gone. I was watching somebody did a comedic version of her on something yesterday. It's ginger and it's iron brew. Okay. I like iron brew. Erica Kirk. Thank you, Mithril. Yeah, Erica Kirk. It was a really funny one that some actress had done. She looked like her. She really did her makeup like her. I don't know how. But yeah, she was holding the tissue and pretending to cry. It was really brilliant. Notice the 3 Ks in her name. Interesting. Interesting, Mithril. I had not noticed that before. That is very, very interesting. And they talk about, you know, serial unalivers and having 3 names, and also the those who assassinated various presidents having 3 names. It's weird, isn't it? It's very weird. I've only got Christian name, first name, and surname. That's it. I don't have a middle name. I always wanted a middle name, but never had one. My mum always said that our names were long enough. So yeah. Iron brew is made from iron girders, as Scottish as haggis. Have you seen, Pete, those haggis videos of the little furry haggises? Oh my God, they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I watch them and I think they're hilarious. Absolutely love them. Lady Kidron said, AI-generated pictures of children in bikinis may not be child essay material, but they were contemptuous of children's privacy and agency. Of course it's essay. Of course it's essay, because putting a child in a bikini leads PDFs to want to see children in bikinis. Absolutely ridiculous. They built a whole heap of windmill things by Trump's Scotland golf course. Have they? I hope so. It's unbelievable how many people believe that the haggis actually exists. I know. And these videos, I don't know who's making them, but they are absolutely brilliant. Really, really good AI. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen them, Google them. They are brilliant. I used to like whiskey and ginger ale. But if I'm going to drink whiskey, I want a decent single malt. My dad used to drink Glenfiddich, and no, not Glenfiddich. What was it? Glenmorangie. He used to drink Glenmorangie, and I liked that. But rather a single malt than a blend. It's like Shivers. It's nice, but it's a blend. It's not a single malt. I like it when you can taste that peat in it. Not peat as in P-E-T-E, but P-E-A-T. When I was young, I bought a haggis hound cuddly toy. Oh, well, it's like I bought this when I came back here to the UK on holiday in 1997. I bought this because hedgehog, I don't know, just did. It was just one of those things. Okay, let's have a look at one more story. This is this appeared also in my daily mirror feed, and it was also, I thought I was going to cry, but I didn't. And I will link these articles into the description box afterwards, because there's a video on this one and it's well worth watching. But horror moment, hero tries to save man and dog who fell into icy water on a frozen lake. Well, I know that if I had a dog, I'd be jumping into the frozen lake to save my dog. Even though I'm not a dog person, it's an animal. I would jump into the lake to save an animal. That's just what I would do. You blasphemous person. Haggis are real living, breathing beasties roaming wild through the glens. I need to work on my Scottish accent so that I can say that in a really good Scottish accent. I gave my kids American Indian tribe middle names. Brilliant. I love that. And a very protective over Nessie. I've seen Nessie. I've actually got a Nessie somewhere, but I think the cat stole it when I went up to Scotland and got it from the shop there at where the display is. And there's a little shop on the corner there that sold, I've actually got a necklace as well. It's a Celtic love knot, which I've actually got tattooed on the back of my neck as well. But anyway, they were playing a CD by Terry Oldfield, Mike Oldfield's brother. Oh, I can't remember the name now, but I bought it. It was the last one they had. She was playing it and I said, oh, this is really nice. Celtic something or other. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Just Scotland just speaks to me. It really does. So Nessie is a haggis in disguise. I don't know. Nessie would be lots of haggises in disguise, I think. Okay, the new. The haggis take care of Nessie at night. Yeah, which you come to Scotland, you can practice with the natives, restless of otherwise. If you know, you know. Restless of otherwise, practice with the natives. Not sure what my okay the new. Was that a good one? I'm glad it was a good one. I shall practice. My brother-in-law is a Robertson, and he is of Scottish descent. His dad was called Alex, and he was Scottish, and you couldn't understand him, especially when he'd had a few drinks, but he was an amazing man. So when my sister got married, he wore his kilt in the Robertson tartan. So, yeah, and they had a bagpiper as well. So, yeah, come to Scotland. Yeah, I will have to come to Scotland. Celtic blessing could well have been Chris C. I'm going to have to go and search for it now afterwards because I've got to, it's now, I want to listen to it again now. So anyway, this bloke jumped into this lake to rescue his dog, and another man went in to rescue the man, and he was crawling across the ice and sort of trying to drag him. And then he fell in as well. So they were like walking to a place where they could stand up. The dog was saved. Both men were saved. I got to the end, I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God they were all saved. I would have been gutted if the dog had have died. I really would have been. Can you imagine? That would have been awful. Yeah, I will come up to Scotland for a wee visit. I will, as soon as I have some time. And the thing is with Thorn, he has to come with me. So I need to find a place that will accept cats. And it's a long drive, so I'll have to split the drive into two because he gets car sick, I think. So I need to research tartans that will be popular with dog owners for bandanas. Mind you, I looked at the price of tartan and nearly died of shock. Yeah, Edinburgh Woolen Mill. I actually bought a Stuart tartan, one of the red ones, when I went to Scotland the last time, and one of the Aran jumpers. I couldn't wear them. So itchy, so itchy. Made me itch so much. Such scratchy, itchy material. And I loved my kilt. I really did. I loved the red Stuart tartan. I really did. And I know the Stuart tartan, there are other types as well. I think there's a white one with green and black and yellow through it as well. But I do love tartan. I think it's a beautiful material. I really do. The thickness of it and the just the beauty of it, and that each clan has its own tartan. I just think that's beautiful. Did you see the Ben Shapiro Company's retelling of the Pendragon Legend dropped today? I'm expecting it to be terrible. I haven't. I shall have to have a look at that. Chrissy, the fabric I found is a polyviscose blend, and it's priced at $58 a meter and is made to order. Right. Yeah. Now that's pricey. And are your clients going to want to pay that much for a bandana? You know, although that's beautiful. Can you imagine it on a little Scotty? And then you could do one for the Westies as well, using the Irish tartan. Oh, that would be so cute. I bought a scarf from Witches of Scotland in their witch patented tartan, handmade on old style looms. Was pricey, but it's lovely and warm. I bet it is. I had a tam o' shanter as well, a Stuart tartan tam o' shanter, which has disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. I swear it is a jaunty angle. Yeah. Wanted 100% wool. It shoots up to £86 a meter. Wow, that is pricey. That is really, really pricey. Yeah, I don't blame you for sort of, yeah. And the thing is, would you want a cheap, alternative? I don't know. It's a difficult thing, isn't it? It's a difficult thing. Same with tweed. That is expensive, hence the research needed. Absolutely. Tweed is also very expensive. Tweed has to have a lining, because tweed, again, is very itchy. I've got very sensitive skin. I suffer with eczema. And when I shower, I have to exfoliate, and I've got cream I have to just apply everywhere. And it's awful. I've had it since I was a baby. So, it's never going to go away. And rough wools and rough material make me itch so badly. Absolutely awful. Anyway, guys, it is now 8 p.m. and I haven't actually had my dinner yet because my shopping arrived. And it was right on time, 4 p.m, because my booking was between 4 and 5. And I booked it early because I was going to go live at 6. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm happy to go live at 7 on a Tuesday. So that's all fine. When it arrived, I'd ordered cream eggs, white cream eggs. And I'd also ordered some rice cakes, some salt and vinegar rice cakes, because now I'm on my diet thing, trying to lose this weight for my race coming up. Well, I've got a race next weekend, but it's the race in February that I'm stressing about. That is the difficult one, which is why I was running hill work yesterday. Oh, my legs today were not happy on my run. Could feel it. But the Bin podcast is still going. Well, if they've got all that shit going on in the capital, I'm not surprised. Are they covering that, Chris? Temu, Chris, $2.49, cheaper per meter, but also shittier quality as well. Max will be on at 8:30. Okay. So, but I'm gonna head off because I want to get, I think. So I had and I got some new options, hot chocolate. So this afternoon for my tea, I had a cup of options hot chocolate, which is only 51 calories. Or is it 40? 40 calories, sorry, 40 calories. I had a rice cake, which was like 50 calories as well, or 30 calories, salt and vinegar rice cake, very thin ones. And I had a cream egg, which is quite a lot of calories. So I have to eat. I've got some strawberries now, so I'll probably have some strawberries. Losing weight will go well with the cream eggs. Send them to me instead. I love cream eggs. I absolutely love them. Chrissy, you just had another sale. That's 3 today. Brilliant. Well done. That's absolutely brilliant. Hot chocolate sounds good about now. And maybe a Tunnocks tea. Oh, I love Tunnocks tea cakes. Must order some of them next time as well. Got a delivery from Tesco. Driver said I made some substitutions. Rosemary and haddock. I said, this is neither the time or the place. Oh, God. Love it. Love it. Cream apple turnover. Oh, love that. Love cream apple turnover. Appreciate that you make the difference. Oh, I try. I do try. I do try. I am very trying. My cats will tell you I'm very trying, which reminds me, I have to go and put the biscuits out for them now, because if I don't, and I have to put Thorn's biscuits away, because he did a big squitty poo last night between the litter trays. You know, he sat in the litter tray with his ass hanging over the edge. So I've been waiting for it to harden, so it's easier to pick up that way. It's just easier to pick up. You can meet Yikes McSpike when I come to Scotland. I will do. I will do. I'll bring Spike with me as well, and they can, like, you know, become friends. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris. That's really made my day. That really has made my day. Thank you. Well, I love all of you guys. I have recorded 3 videos this afternoon as well, so I will be doing some editing and uploading. I still haven't done the Andrew Tate one. I did want to do it this afternoon, but there wasn't time, because it's a lot of stuff that I need to prepare before I do it, because I don't edit my videos through the center. I edit the beginning and the end, and that's it. If I stuff up the words in the middle, that's it. So I have to have everything ready for when I do the recording. It's because I don't know how to edit the middle of a video out. You see, I'm not that technical. We do have an amazing community. We do have a really amazing community here. So I am going to probably go live tomorrow evening. Not sure of the time yet, possibly 6 p.m. because I don't think anybody else goes live on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. So I will do that. No idea what the show will be about. Don't know yet. I will toss a coin and see, have a look what comes up on my emails and on my paper reviews and stuff. But have a wonderful evening. Go and watch the rest of Geoscope or BIM Podcast and Max later, and I will see you all tomorrow. Blessed be, guys. Mwah.